Alright, my name is Ben. We're in my kitchen and I'm going to review a couple of Glock 9mm that I have here. Starting over here, this is a mostly stock Gen 4 Glock 19. I put sights on it. I textured the grip myself. It's not very pretty, but it's very grippable, if that's even a word, and also had it coated after I did the grip texturing. In the middle, I have a Gen 4 Glock 17 that I had professionally done by a company in Tucson, Arizona called Worx. And I'll go into detail when I separate these guns and show the work that was done. I had their most aggressive stippling texture job done, undercut trigger guard, coated beforehand for the contrast look. Mostly stock, Trijicon HD sights, agency arms drop-in trigger. Apart from that, didn't really mess with anything. On my far right, I have my newest acquisition and my most proudest acquisition. This is a Gen 4 17 done by Boresight Solutions out of Miami, Florida. The grip was reduced to profile the Glock 19 grip, so it doesn't print so bad, but you still have the 4.5-inch barrel. Grip has their GL2 carry texture. It's not as aggressive as the Worx grip. However, it is much more comfortable for if you carry inside the waistband, as I do. Also, appendix carry is huge. It has a lightened trigger with, I believe, a Ghost Evo 3 or Evo 3.5-pound connector. Trijicon HD sights. A whole bunch of work. I'll get into that when I go into each individual gun. I just want to walk through each of my experiences with each guns. Primarily, this gun here has been relegated to range duty. The 19 and now the 17-19 hybrid, as I call it, are going to be my primary carries for the not so extreme heat of Phoenix, Arizona, where we're at. In the super extreme heat, I carry a little pocket 380 if I'm wearing, like beach style clothing. But we'll get into that more a little bit. So let me change the camera angle around and I'll show you a little bit more of the work done to each of the guns. Alright, so we're back and we're going to talk about my first carry gun, or my most used carry gun, I should say. This is my Glock 19 Gen 4, as I discussed earlier. Before we get into anything, I want to make a point to tell you I'm a regular guy. I've got a 9 to 5. I'm an auto mechanic. I've taken a couple of training courses with Haley Strategic. I'm by no means an expert in any of this. Most of this is opinion based on my personal experiences with a couple of different companies. That's the point of this video. I'm not going to tell you, what's good or what's bad. I'm going to tell you what I like and what I've experienced, and that is the point of this video. So my Gen 4 19, I went to town with a wood burning kit, and let's see if I can get a better shot here. The grip texture is uneven. It's not pretty, but it is effective. And I made sure that, I had my finger inside the mag well while I was texturing it to make sure I didn't go too deep, didn't make the frame brittle. You can see I undercut the trigger guard for my primary hand and also my support hand. Let me see if I can get a better shot of that. So, slight undercut for both hands so I can get a really good grip on it. Also, if you can see, all the weapons in here are unloaded, completely cleared, function checked beforehand. Always do that if you're going to be even just anything to do with guns. If you're not at a range, it shouldn't be loaded unless it's holstered properly. Your results may vary. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to do. So, there we go. Okay, XS Big Dots sights. They're good combat sights, not super accurate, good for fast target acquisition. You're definitely going to have to use some practice. I've come to find that I just prefer a notch and post traditional style with a high visibility front sight. The white is perfectly high visible up here, but it's a little bit tricky to dot the I when you really want to be accurate. Great little gun, runs like a top. You know, I had it coated by a company out here in Phoenix called Worx. Good guys. They did a really reasonable price. I think it was like $70 to have the frame coated. And there's most of my texturing. Textured the front of the trigger guard, didn't really need to, so yeah. And support hand thumb also. So when you have your good grip, if you want to transition down to a weapon mounted light, it's good. If not, if you're ready to fire, keep this in frame for you, it's good to go. Just a little bit added, you know, regularly it's over 100 degrees for 6 months out of the year here probably. So it gets hot, your hands get sweaty, and in a high stress situation, your hands may be extremely sweaty and possibly shaky. Since these are all carry guns, those were all considerations that I put into when I did the work I did, and also when I had the work done that I requested from the companies. So that's my 19. Mildly proud of it. Yeah, it's not pretty. It works. I didn't affect the function of the frame, didn't go too deep, didn't chowder it all up. And it's a great little carry gun. This is my primary carried appendix in an incog holster, and doesn't print much. I'm a small guy. I'm 5'7", 135 pounds, 28-inch waist. It's hard to make a full-size or compact gun disappear, but if you do it properly with a good gun belt, good holster, and maybe a one-size big shirt, you can do it quite easily, and it will disappear pretty easily, and you're good to go. And that way, I don't have to wear 5'11", tactical pants. I wear Levi's, and this thing disappears. I just buy them a size bigger and a size longer, so that when I do appendix carry, I make sure that it's not going to be crushing my bits when I sit down. One thing to watch out for on appendix carry, because that will happen. So on to the next. This is a Gen 4 17, Glock 17, that I bought new last winter time. I think it was maybe February, March. Irrelevant. Unfired, sent the frame off to a company called Worx in Tucson, Arizona, with very high hopes. They were very well regarded on a couple of local gun groups. Their work looks great in pictures, and I'll tell you what, their work is great. I won't take that away from them. The work that they did was excellent. The texture is great. The undercut of the trigger guard is extremely smooth. There are minor discrepancies, like this border where the texture stops is not very even, not a huge deal. Their magazine release scallop, let me see if I can get a better shot of that, right there. Nicely done. I had requested stippling up here for my support hand thumb. That fell on deaf ears. The biggest reason I'm even including this gun in the video is to let you know my experience with a couple of different companies, Worx being one of them. So I'm going to put this down and go over the work that was done. So what we had done was excuse me, I'm just reading off because I'm not going to be able to memorize all this. Basic reproduction and large print stippling package. Recessed mag release, undercut trigger guard for primary and support hand. Coated before the work was done for the two-tone look because it was a style thing. There's no function to it. I just didn't want it to be all black. So yeah, really good work. Funny part about it is I had a Haley Strategic training class about a month out, and I asked the company if they could promise a 2-week turnaround time, absolutely, indefinitely. I wanted to use this gun for that class. They said, absolutely, no problem. So fast forward 6 weeks, numerous phone calls, text messages, Facebook messages, emails unanswered. I had to retain the services of attorney Trent Woods, Arizona Gun Law, awesome guy. He is a super nice guy. He's a gun guy before he's an attorney. He's not, he's a good dude. And long story short, I had to hire an attorney to get my gun back that I had already paid for. I paid $200 to have this rush job done within 2 weeks. Wasn't done. Excuses that you read about. I mean, I've got military contracts, yada, yada, yada. Whatever. Irrelevant to me. I don't care. I'm a regular guy. I work a 9 to 5. I'm not super wealthy at all. It wasn't cheap to have this work done, and I knew that going into it, and I was okay with that. I have no problem paying for good work. Just when a customer brings their car to me, I'm not the cheapest mechanic out there, but I do good work and I stand behind my work. This work was done well, but it was 8 times longer than promised. My rush delivery job fee of $200 was never returned to this day. It's been nearly a year, and had a pretty negative experience. So, Weapon Worx, Vail, Arizona, Tucson area. I would not recommend sending anything to them. Now, I will post a link in the video description that has more details on the excuses and runaround that I had to deal with Calvin, a company owner. I'm not going to get into that. This is just the guns that I carry and why I carry them and what I had done to them. Like I said, the work done, I'm not here to slander anybody. It's good work. It's very good work. The way the business is practiced and run is laughable, is as politely as I can put it. I would not, I'm going to stop there before I say something I shouldn't. All right, we're on to the next. So this is another Gen 4 Glock 17. This work was customized by Boresight Solutions in Miami, Florida, as I said earlier. Go over a brief description of the work done. Their level 2 grip package carry texture, GL2, Razorback option, which is this little hump here, which is extremely comfortable in the hand. Short grip mod. So this grip, I'm going to do a little side-by-side overlay. Close the slide here. Again, all these are clear and unloaded. So I'm going to stack these up as best I can, sort of hold them level. You see the grip here has been shortened to accept Glock 19 magazines. Makes it a little bit better for the carrying. Like I said, I'm not a big guy, so a 17 round mag will print a little bit on me. It's excellent in the hand. Let's get this guy out of here. Very comfortable grip, but a good texture. I've got my support thumb texture like I asked for, and all around just very, very comfortable. Again, Trijicon HD, orange front sight. That's my preferred. I've got them on 3 different guns. I've got them on the other 17 also, and Smith & Wesson that I've got in the safe. The trigger has been lightened with a Ghost Evo connector. It's down to 3.5 pound roughly. I don't have a trigger pull gauge. Extremely smooth, extremely positive, very crisp break. I know that this is not very good trigger control, but this is for a video, not for shooting targets. Excellent break. The reset. Super positive, super light. It feels as good, if not better, as the Stage 4 Apex in my Smith & Wesson M&P 9. It just very nice. Now, I'm not going to get into the argument about lightening a trigger in a carry gun. Your results may vary. Long story short, your gun should never come out unless you're absolutely certain that it's your life or somebody else's. So it doesn't really matter what's in your gun. That's my opinion. That's all I'm going to say about it. Vickers Tactical extended slide stop. One thing that I want to compare and contrast is the magwell. So when Boresight does their grip work, you lose that grip plug and that gap that was in there. So if you can see in here, that grip plug gap is gone, and both the leading and the trailing edges of the magwell have been really nicely profiled. I haven't practiced any tack reloads, speed reloads, whatever you want to call them. I literally just picked this up from my FFL this morning and wanted to do a quick review on it. But since this area is completely filled, whereas a factory Gen 417 has this open area, you don't lose any strength when you reduce the grip. Again, I'm not going to speak for Boresight. It feels super strong, feels just like my 19, only with better texture, smoother. Very, very nicely done. You know, the sights were done too, etc., etc. I'll list in detail in the video description the work done to all the different guns, because I will jumble over words trying to remember everything that was done. Buyer beware. If you buy from Boresight Solutions, you will get amazing customer service. I already got an email this morning asking how everything is. I can't even get an email response on somebody else's gun previously mentioned about my refund that I was supposed to have. Ben, the owner of Boresight and who does all this work, super nice guy. Communication's excellent. He gets the work done on time. Now, this was a special case. This particular firearm was relinquished to him by a customer who couldn't pay, so I didn't have to wait. There was no waiting time on that. He put a very reasonable trade, or not trade, but used value, all new. The work that he did to it is all new. However, the gun itself, the barrel slide, etc., used, put a fair trade value on it, and then his fair market, retail value for all of the work that he does to it. Not inexpensive. This is not an inexpensive gun to have the work that this has done to it. You can find the details on his website, but for a carry gun, I think that that's not something that you want to glaze over. I'm not a prepper. I'm not a doomsday is coming guy. I just know that there's evil in the world. You never know when it's your day, whatever the case is. I train for bad situations because bad situations happen. Bad things happen to good people every day, and it's just the way it goes. So I carry this gun, and I have no problem putting money into any of the guns that I carry if I think it's going to significantly help the manipulations of the gun. The higher profile Trijicon HD sights, good for one-handed manipulations. The texture is excellent for stressful situations, loose situations, sweaty hand situations, whatever the case is. Again, there's no reason not to put good money into a good carry gun. A good belt, a good holster, and a good gun. It doesn't have to be $1,000 HK, or work within your budget, do whatever you want, whatever fits your needs. But don't be afraid to put $150 night sights on if it gives you that edge, or a weapon light if you prefer a weapon light, or if there's something else that you think will make your gun more user friendly. Keep it as simple as you can, so that if that moment comes and you have to go from 99 to 100% and there's no turning back from that, you've got something that you know and you trust. Biggest thing I'll say, all the modifications aside, as beautiful as they are, take a training course. Take a live fire training course with an accredited instructor. All this work to all three of these guns, they might as well be paperweights if you just go to the range once a week and shoot at paper targets. It's good to stay sharp with accuracy, obviously. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. But if you don't take a reasonable training course that's geared for self-defense, you're carrying around a paperweight and a liability, in my opinion. That's me on the soapbox. Enough with that. Now we will conclude here in a second. All right, final thoughts. Really pleased with all three of these guns. They work. They shoot accurately. They shoot reliably. Hold on. I have not shot this gun yet. I literally just got it this morning. I'm staking it on the Glock reputation and Boresight Solutions reputation. So, range review to follow with this guy. Got way off track with the idea of this video being a review of the feel of them, what I like about them, what I don't like about them. Went off the deep end a little bit with the ranting. I apologize for that. Try and edit the video down to length so it's not super long. These two guns, they shoot great. Wasn't happy with the customer service, as you know. This gun I tried on my own. Be careful. I know a lot of people who are running lone wolf frames because they tried a grip modification themselves and it didn't go well. And that's not a cheap or a fun thing. This is the serialized part. It needs to be sold through an FFL, etc., etc. Very happy initially with the Boresight gun. We will find out range review later on. I have no doubts that it'll function. The mechanicals have not been severely modified. No crazy salient arms machine work that takes away 60% of the slide mass and is prone to cracking or whatever. Ranting again. Sorry. Final thoughts. These are what I've done to my carry guns. Agree, disagree, comment below. Let me know what you think. I'm very happy with my new acquisition, with my homemade gun, be it very not pretty. Still like this gun. Just hate that I had to go through a negative experience with a local company. But yeah, they're all good guns. They all run. They all shoot, presumably. This gun is used, so it shot at one time. But I'm not going to make a liar out of myself. As I said, I will follow up with a range review when I have some free time. Maybe tomorrow. It depends how long it takes to edit all of my misspoken words out of this video. That's it for me today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and be ready for whatever life throws at you. Take care of yourselves.